Alright, what's good YouTube? We are doing a 6-month review on my ROG Ally. Now, for the past 6 months, this ROG Ally has been to some places. For an example, I took this on a train up to Philly. I took this on a bus up to New York. I took this on a car ride to Maryland. And I took this on a flight to Dallas. And wow. Okay. Yeah, so I took this place. God damn it, bro. Fuck. Start over again. Alright, YouTube. We are back with a video on the ROG Ally. Now, I had this thing for about 6 months. And the ROG Ally actually have traveled a little bit in the past 6 months. For the start, I took this thing on a train ride to Philly. This train ride was about 40 minutes long from where I live. I also took this thing up New York. That New York trip was about 2 hours on a bus. It was actually kind of fun. And then I took this thing on a car ride, which was about an hour, and that was on Thanksgiving. And I also took the ROG Ally to Dallas on a plane, which was about 3 hours long. Now, in my title or thumbnail, it says that I regret buying the ROG Ally, and I actually do regret buying the ROG Ally. Now, it's not because of the ROG Ally is a bad device or anything. I just regret buying it, just simply that I just don't use it enough. And the games that I play on my ROG Ally are not really the same games I would... Actually, hold on. The games that I play on my PC are not exactly the same games I would play on the ROG Ally. Like, I'm not going to go out my way and buy a game simply for the ROG Ally. I mean, I feel like that doesn't even make sense, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like, basically, some games that I want to play on the ROG Ally don't really run that great, or they don't look that great, or you need a keyboard to get around the menus or some shit like that. So yeah, I actually do regret buying my ROG Ally, but since I did have this thing for 6 months, I am going to talk about, you know, the pros and the cons of having the ROG Ally, and who is this device for. Now, if I'm stuttering, is because I don't have a script and I'm trying to say a lot of things at once. But anyway, we're just going to start off with the pros of the ROG Ally. Alright, so the obvious pro number one is the ROG Ally is portable. You can basically play your games anywhere at any time. As long as you have internet for some games. We will talk about that later when it comes to the cons. The next pro I can say about the ROG Ally is the build quality. Now, it is made out of plastic. However, it's not like some cheap ass plastic you'll find on some cheap ass devices. I also do like the design of the ROG Ally. Now, I do, rock a case on it. The only reason I have this case on it is for the kickstand, but this kickstand is kind of trash. I mean, if you place this thing on anything that's not flat, it will just, fall over, which is understandable. But this kickstand is just a little too short. If I would just want to place this on the couch for a second, it'll just fall over. But that's what tables are for, am I right? So yeah, the build quality is pretty nice. I do like the white paint job. It's also pretty nice. And also the ROG Ally does come with a fingerprint scanner. However, I just disabled mine because when that thing did not work, it used to annoy me. So I just completely disabled the fingerprint scanner so I don't have to deal with it. Honestly, I disabled the whole sign in part of Windows. So whenever I turn on my ROG Ally, it just goes straight to desktop. There's no lock screen. There's no passcode to sign in. Now that could be a security issue, but look, there is nothing valuable on this Ally that I care about. Let's say this thing gets stolen, the only thing you're gonna get from me is probably just my Steam library or my Steam credentials. Like, I don't care. It's not important. It's not like it's my bank information that's gonna get stolen. It's not like I'm about to lose my whole life if this thing gets stolen. I don't have my social security number stored on here. I really don't give a damn. So yeah, it's a security issue. If you're gonna store things on here, only thing that's on here is games, and I don't care if my Steam library gets stolen, or not stolen. My Steam account, whoever, if someone decides to steal it and oh, I got this guy's Steam Light, no one fucking cares, bro. Let's just move on. Another pro with the ROG Ally, I have to say, Armory Crate is actually pretty good in my opinion. I tried using Play Night, but sometimes importing games on Play Night can be a pain in the ass. So I just use Armory Crate and I just have all my installed games in Armory Crate. Now I basically configured every game, like every single game in here has its own preset. So yeah, basically every game has its own preset. Some apps I use, like GeForce Now has its own presets. I think it's literally the same. No, it's a little bit different than the rest of these games. But yeah, basically I went to every single game on here and made its own preset. It's a bit time consuming, but it works out. And for the control center, I just have the most basic things up here, like silent, control mode if I'm going to use gamepad mode or desktop mode, then the real-time monitor, and then if I need to disable the controller for whatever reason. So yeah, I just keep simple things up here. Now when I'm not playing a game, the ROG Ally will just run in silent mode the whole time. Silent mode, you basically get, you know, less performance, but you also get less fan noise. Actually, the problem with the ROG Ally in general is the fans never turn off. Just like some Windows laptops I had, the minute you turn on the laptop, the fans are on the entire time. That is one reason why I like MacBooks, is because the fans only turn on when they need to. But here on the Ally, I mean, they're running right now, which I don't really see why they need to run. I mean, according to real-time monitor, my, I guess, CPU temp is only at 35 degrees Celsius. I don't see the point why the fan has to run. I know it's on right now. I can feel the air coming out the vents right now. I don't see why they need to be on all the time. Sorry, that was a little bit of a rambling. I'm supposed to be talking about the good things about the Ally and I just started rambling. So now we're gonna move on to the cons. I think that was all for the pros. I mean, you do get a 1080p screen at 120 hertz. You get a solid build quality. You get a fingerprint scanner if you're gonna use it. You also do get a micro SD card if you're still work at this point. You only get one USB-C port, which is unfortunate, but you also get Asus's proprietary GPU port for the XG Mobile. I actually was planning on buying an XG Mobile, but they were not in stock. Like in the past 6 months, the RG, Jesus Christ, the fuck, bro, the fucking XG Mobile, the version I wanted, was never in stock. The only one that was in stock was the 3080, which I'm not buying that, and the, what was it? Did they have like a 4080 or 4090 one? One of those, they were somewhat in stock. But I'm not paying $2,000 GPU that I can only use with this. The only way that could be worth it if I have an Asus laptop with the same ports, but I don't. I have a desktop, so that just be a waste of money. So basically for $2,000, I basically bought a whole PC for $2,000 versus buying a mobile GPU for $2,000. I'll take the, you know, $2,000 PC any day over a $2,000 mobile GPU. Sorry about the chair. All right, so now we're gonna move on to some of the cons I have with the ROG Ally. Windows can be a pro and a con. So like Windows, I mean, obviously if you want to play games, you know, Windows is the way to go. I'm not really sure about Linux. I don't really know much about that operating system, but yeah, Windows can be a pro and a con. Sometimes you will need a mouse and keyboard to get around. Now you can go into, you know, desktop mode, and you know, you can like get around. Can I get the fuck out of big picture mode, please? So sometimes, yeah, you can like go around, use analog sticks. Okay, Steam, you don't need to open again. I mean, yeah, you could get around with this, but sometimes navigating Windows could be a pain in the ass. Honestly, if you're new to Windows and you buy this, I feel like you should not buy this unless you know how to use Windows, to be honest with you. Because some games you will need to, like, you know, go into like config files to get them to work properly, and a perfect game like that is Splinter Cell Double Agent. For some reason, if you want to change the resolution to 1080p, you have to go into a config file, because some reason the highest resolution that I was able to see was 720p, but this is a 1080p screen, so I had to go into config file and change it to 1080p. I don't know, bro, that fucking game is like a really bad port. There's a lot of issues with that port, but we're gonna move on from that. So yeah, if you buy this and you don't know how to use Windows, then I mean, you're just gonna have to figure it out. This ain't as simple as, you know, like a Nintendo Switch. You know, you just pick up and play, and very familiar. Actually, I used to own a Nintendo Switch about a year ago. I bought it, I returned it in 3 days. I don't know, man. Like, there was just not that many games on the Switch I was willing to buy. I only bought maybe like one game. It was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. That was actually the first time I played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And I actually beat that entire game on the Nintendo Switch. But after I was done with Need for Speed, I'm like, what other game am I gonna buy for the Nintendo Switch? Like, I don't really care for any of Nintendo's exclusives. To be honest with you, I really don't. I'm probably gonna get, you know, canceled for saying that, but I mean, I can say the same thing about PlayStation. I mean, when it comes to PlayStation, I don't really care for their exclusives. Like, I really don't care. I guess I could say the same for Xbox exclusives. Maybe I'm just a person that, maybe I just have no taste at this point. Like, at least with Xbox exclusives, I mean, I do like Fallout. That's one exclusive I like, and I do like Forza. That's about, oh, and Gears of War. I mean, they're basically all Xbox exclusives. I don't like the new Gears of War. Like, I don't like Gears of War 4 or 5. I'm talking like the old Gears of War, like 1, 2, and 3. And Forza, I still like Forza today. It's still pretty good. Fallout 76, it's hard for me to get into that, but Fallout 3, 4, and New Vegas, I do like those. Now, yeah, you can play those on I think you can still play those on PS5. I'm not I know with Fallout 3, you have to like stream it through like PlayStation Now, or I don't even know what it's called anymore. But all right, let's move on because I'm over here rambling again. The next dislike I have has to be the Bluetooth latency. If you want to use something like AirPods. Now, for some reason, if you want to use AirPods or any other Bluetooth headset, you're gonna have a delay. It's 2023. I thought, you know, Bluetooth audio delay was a thing of the past, but apparently not. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I use these same AirPods on other Windows devices. No delay at all. Like, I had a couple of Asus laptops last year. I had the Asus G14. I bought that laptop like 5 times. And I returned every single one of them because they all had like some major problem with their laptops. Like, Asus's quality control is not that great in my opinion. I don't know why I bought the G14 so many times. I really wanted to like that laptop. Like, I liked it, but the quality control of that laptop was not that great during the time. I'll play like some clips of I don't know why he's making that noise. It's like something's stuck. Yeah. Fine on the Asus G14. There was no audio delay at all. I could say the same thing about the Asus M16 from last year. No audio delay at all with these AirPods. I even tried these AirPods on some Alienware laptops. No audio delay. And an MSI laptop I had last year. No audio delay. However, use these AirPods on these ROG Ally, you will have an audio delay. I tried so many different drivers. They just have some kind of delay. It probably has to do with the chip that's in here that's causing the audio delay. It's just unfortunate that I had to go out my way and buy a separate pair of earbuds to play wirelessly with the ROG Ally. Now, these are the Razer Hammerheads. These are like $150. I don't even know if these are even worth 150 bucks. I mean, like, this case is just made of like straight up plastic. Like, not that good plastic. Like, at least with like these AirPods, I mean, they're plastic too, but like this is like a nice plastic. These are like cheaper plastic, I should say. And they're very light too, compared to my AirPods. The AirPods does have some weight to them. But it's unfortunate that I really had to go buy these Hammerheads to deal with Bluetooth latency. Like, I don't want to be using wired headphones when using this. Like, if I'm going to be playing on this, I want, you know, wireless peripherals. But now with these Razer Hammerheads, you can use Bluetooth or you can use a USB-C dongle. But the problem with using the USB-C dongle is you're going to take up your only USB-C port on this thing. And that's another dislike I have with this thing. Only one USB-C port? I mean, come on, can we at least have 2? So I can like use my Razer Hammerheads and charge the Ally at the same time? You can buy a dock. Bro, that's like too much bulk. You're gonna have like a big ass dock here. You're gonna have like a fucking wire sticking out going to some outlet. You're gonna have like the USB-C dongle hooked up. I mean, it's, bro, like, come on, can we just get like 2 USB-C ports or something, not just one? But yeah. Now with these hammerheads, if you want to use Bluetooth, you just go into the app and turn on game mode, and it'll cut down the latency by a lot. Actually, I don't think there's much of a difference between using Bluetooth with game mode on and just using the USB-C dongle that comes with this. It's not really that much of a difference, to be honest with you. Basically, my issue with this Ally is Bluetooth audio delay. Next issue with the ROG Ally, I don't think I can really blame the ROG Ally, but it comes down to some of the launchers that you have to use with the ROG Ally. All right, so for an example, so on my trip to Dallas in August, I wanted to play Need for Speed on the plane. I was signed into EA and everything. Like, I was connected to Wi-Fi and everything before I got on the plane. And then like, we're like 30,000 feet in the air, I decided, all right, let's play Need for Speed. But fucking EA randomly signed my ass out 30,000 feet in the air, and I couldn't fucking play Need for Speed. I was so fucking mad when that happened, man. I really couldn't play Need for Speed because I wasn't signed into some goddamn launcher. This is why I hate, PC gaming sometimes. You have to deal with all these launchers, and you have to put up with this. You have to put up with these launchers on here as well. Even with EA offline mode, sometimes they still want you to be connected to the internet. Like, if you decide to, I don't know, turn off your device, like put it into hibernation mode, not, full power down, and then you come back and turn it on, it's still actually to sign in to EA launcher, but you can't because you're not connected to the internet. I was so pissed, man. I couldn't even play Need for Speed on the fucking plane, bro. If I had my Nintendo Switch, which, as if you remember, I got rid of it 3 days after owning it, I would have had no problems playing Need for Speed 30,000 feet in the air if I had my Nintendo Switch. But on the Ally, since you got to deal with the EA launcher and shit, I couldn't play it, bro. I couldn't play it. That's so dumb. The only launcher I do not have problems with when playing games offline is Steam. Steam gives me no problems playing my games offline. You can sign into offline mode. It's not going to ask you, connect to internet to sign in. So yeah, Steam is the only launcher I have no problems with. Xbox launcher, I think I had some, yeah, you have to like turn on the setting to allow this computer to play offline games. Some weird shit like that. One time I was offline on the Ally, and the Xbox launcher just would not show me my installed games, or they had a problem launching my games or something like that. So basically, playing games offline on the ROG Ally can be a bit of a problem. It's not as simple as like a Nintendo Switch where you can just launch the game whether you're online or offline. The Need for Speed I was trying to play, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, you don't even need to be connected to play. It's just annoying, having to deal with launchers when you're offline, because sometimes they will just, you can't play your games because you're offline. It's so fucking stupid, man. So yeah, just to round that section up is just that you can't play some of your games if you're offline due to launchers. My next issue with the ROG Ally has to be the fan noise. Now, my first video on the ROG Ally, I did talk about how turbo mode was actually pretty quiet. But sometime in July, Asus decided to increase the fan speed to help, fix the SD card issues. But at that time, my SD card was already fucked. So them increasing the fan speed on turbo mode was just making ROG Ally louder for no reason. I mean, my SD card reader was already not working at that time, so them increasing the fan speed did not help me at all. It actually made my gaming experience worse because the fan noise was louder. Now, sometimes I would use the inbuilt speakers, but ever since they turned on, or ever since they upped the fan speed in turbo mode in July, using the inbuilt speakers are not a viable option in my opinion anymore. Now, if you're gonna be gaming in performance mode, or hell, even in silent mode, yeah, you can use the inbuilt speakers, but if you're gonna be gaming in turbo mode, don't use the speakers, bro. Just don't. So yeah, that basically wraps up all my issues with the ROG Ally. So who is this device exactly for? If you're getting into PC gaming, I'm not sure if the Ally is really meant for entry-level gamers, just because I don't know, you're dealing with a lot of shit here. You're dealing with, like, I don't know if I would recommend this to any of my friends, to be honest, because I don't think they're really, Windows savvy. I I'll probably just keep them on consoles because I don't really think they will. I don't know. I'm not trying to say they're dumb or anything. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you need a lot of finesse to get shit to run right on here, and I'm not sure if they are willing to deal with that. So if you're an entry-level gamer, I'm not sure picking this up would be the best option. I think maybe getting a regular PC first, like, so you can, like, you know, understand how Windows works. Okay, so why editing this part? If you're an entry-level gamer, I think you can still pick up the ROG Ally. I just recommend, you know, picking up a mouse and keyboard, because if you don't know how to use Windows, I mean, it's not going to be like plug and play like a console, like a PS5 or a Xbox or Nintendo Switch. So if you're an entry-level gamer, the starting price is like what, $600 to $700. I mean, I feel like that's pretty good. Or you could try buying a gaming PC for around that price. But if the whole purpose is to play games portably, then yes, pick this device up. Even if you're an entry-level gamer, just to let you know, this is not going to be plug and play like a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox, or a PS5. I just wanted to add that note, because trust me, you will need a mouse and keyboard with this to, you know, get around Windows, because using this on-screen keyboard, it can be a little pain in the ass sometimes. If you're someone that travels a lot but you also want to play games, then yes, yeah, obviously I do recommend this. However, just make sure you get a battery bank, because this thing probably only gonna last you like an hour and a half without one. Now, if you're someone who's not really a gamer anymore, which I fall into that line, I mean, I don't know if it's really worth it. I mean, I did say I do regret buying it because I don't really play it like that, but if you're someone who just, I don't know, bro, if you're someone who just games every now and then, and your games are not really that demanding, or they're not really story focused, then I guess you can maybe pick this up. But if most of your games are story focused and demanding, I probably want to pick this up. I mean, unless you want to play all your games at like low settings, I mean, go right ahead. But I'm the kind of person that really doesn't want to play my games at low settings. But yeah. So yeah, I just mostly play demanding games like, you know, Starfield, Cyberpunk. What else? Maybe Watch Dogs 2. I mean, that game's kind of old at this point, but games like that are most of the games I play. I don't really play like any indie games. Like, I guess Minecraft counts. Yeah, I guess. I don't really play any indie games. It's mostly like AAA titles. And I kind of don't want to be playing those games at low settings. Like, I want to see the game at its maximum potential, and I'm going to need a PC for that. So yeah, like I said, I do regret buying this thing. If I can go back in June, would I buy this thing? No, I would not. Now, would I have bought a Steam Deck? Probably not. I'll probably have the same issues, but like, yeah, I don't use my Steam Deck enough or shit like that. Hell, I mean, come on. I even returned my Nintendo Switch 3 days after owning it. So maybe having a handheld is just not my thing. Since I only really play my games at home. I do regret buying the ROG Ally, and I don't think I'm buying another handheld in a long time. It's just the fact that I just don't really play games on the go that often. And if I'm home, I'm not gonna, you know, whip out the ROG Ally and just play it. But yeah, I guess I'd say that's the end of the video. So we covered the pros and the cons and who should really buy this device. So yeah, that's about the end of this video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.